Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Gotta be a slapper. Yes, Gary Houston. I live in Bolton and embarrassed too, says Mark. What are you embarrassed for? You know, just think about it. Remember you could used to walk down the street and you had an English cafe, but the Muslims started complaining because it stunk of bacon in the streets, so the cafe started getting shut. Do you understand? All the British people were moaning about the streets stinking of curry. That's why the gaff never got shut. But all them was snitching on the fact that my man's cooking bacon in that cafe and we don't like it. So because loads of people are snitching on the cafe, they've shut it. Because no people snitch on that curry house, they haven't shut it. And this is what you're up against. You know, you're up against the community of grasses, basically. Not all of them are going to snitch on you, do you understand? But they'll scream blue murder at you, cause crazy aggravation with you, and then snitch on you when you turn up. So you'll have all these big dominant imams and Muslims screaming, yeah, we do this, we do that, bam, 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 bam. You turn up on his front doorstep with a piece in hand, he's snitching on you instantly. Straight away. And every one of them cunts will use the law against you as if it's normal. Whereas we're raised not to do that. They're raised to do that. And this isn't lying. This isn't being hateful. This is speaking observant points, valid points. But it's always been the case. You know, it's always been the strength in numbers shout with these people. You know, these extreme people with the extreme ideologies that can't take criticism. They've always had the numbers shout. But I've always told you, strength in numbers only works in secure places, like prison. Strength in numbers out here puts you more at risk. So for example, you see this phrase on my arm. In war, it is not the men that count, but the man. And basically what this means is you can have 5,000 enemies coming at you screaming, whatever. The minute you take it to that 5,000 people, 200 of them will stand to the death. The rest will run for the lives. So it's not strength in numbers. You know, if you're gathering there in 2,000 and I turn up with a fast one and just start going at that 2,000, who's the strongest there? Who's dropping more bodies there? Yeah, you might grab me. You might drop me, but I've dropped 200 of you before you've got me. And I'm going in with the intention of letting you drop me. I'm not trying to get away here. So strength in numbers doesn't work out here. It's all about the man. Are you willing to sacrifice yourself for the cause? Are you willing to go and run into that room with 500 men and kill them all? I'm not on about going to an hospital in Liverpool and blowing a taxi up in front of a woman and a child. I'm not on about going into a nursery and attacking women and children. Men of Christ don't harm women and children. You know, men of Christ go for the men. We don't go for women and children. Never have done. That's the difference. Massively. One of them lunatics will go and do a mad one and damage a woman and a child somewhere. One of us, when we go off it, we're turning up 5 strong. We're not just getting one loose one going off as Barney. We're turning up 5 strong, all armed to the teeth. That's the difference. You've just not experienced the difference in this country. Why? Because we're very tolerant. And those gangster, criminal-minded individuals can't be arsed with the views are getting caught up in. So we turn a blind eye. For years. Don't let them get on with it. You know, we're in business with half-yous. Half-yous are dealing heroin and crack. And we're in business with half-yous, aren't we? So, you know, just leave that cunt up to it. We'll just stick to our business, kid. But criminals are switching now. Why? Because it's their women and children that's being harmed. It's their children that are going into nurseries and being threatened by people of whatever. So you've got a lot of criminal minds starting to switch now. You've got a lot of certified, decent, hard, dangerous individuals within our cities that are looking on switching now. And these aren't going to switch and run out and do a lunatic and harm himself in a taxi and da-da-da-da-da. They don't need to. They've got to do is supply the arms. That's all they've got to do. Give access. Just like you've got a kid over there shooting that kid because he got drugs, the same kids can be sent in anywhere to shoot anyone. At the moment, they're not being sent in anywhere to shoot anyone. They're getting kept to target particular criminals. But when it's the fan, mate, it's the way it is. It's the way it's going. I haven't heard no one from the Islamic community standing up and being counted in defence of these young white girls that are being raped in these Islamic communities. I haven't heard one imam. I haven't heard not one person of Islam getting on their social media platform and telling it how it is to do with this. Not one. Not one. What does that tell you? Are you condoning them actions, are you, kid? Do you think that's legit? Do you think that's okay, do you? Because it looks to me that's what you're saying. The fact that you're keeping your mouth shut is telling me a huge amount of things about you. You learn more off what you don't say. You learn more off what you don't say than what you do say, trust me. You've got SIAI saying, did every priest condemn Jimmy Savile? No, but the community condemned the church. Didn't they? All us Catholics turned on the church. All us Catholics let the church know that we're not happy with what's gone on. Haven't seen none of your lot do anything, have you? You're bringing it in, you're bringing this dynamic in here. Bring it if you want, lad. I'll write your community off in a flash. You'll be sorry you said anything to me. I can destroy everything about you and your community right now and leave you in a mess for the rest of your life. But I'm not going to. Why? Because I'm not extreme like you. I'd love to get an extremist like you in this room. I'd leave you in a mess. Any extreme rat, I'd leave them in a serious mess. In and out of jail, get you in a twist. Yes, Mark, hope you're good, mate. Choose a life, not a knife, people. Protect your women and children and protect them from anything that's a threat to them, regardless if this is a man of God. If he believes it's okay to rape a 13-year-old girl, protect your kid from that monster. Fact, simple as that. And you can hold everyone in suspicion. Everyone's suspect to me until they prove they're not. Especially now. Yes, John? Everyone. Everyone to me is a suspect until they're proven not to be. Yes, Kerry. They suspended sentences, says Danny. It's what happens. if you've got no previous convictions, it's very rare you get a sentence for your first crimes. And these dirty, perverted monsters, they're not really criminal. That's why they snitch on you instantly. They're not built like us. Even your hardest gangster from Bradford is a complete shithead in Liverpool. They're not built like us. Never have been, never will be. Doesn't matter where you are in this country, you can get the hardest one of them and he will not compete in the city of Liverpool. We're probably the weakest one of us. Different cloth. Completely different dynamics when it comes to criminal intentions. We've been 10 years ahead of everyone in the country when it comes to crime. Always been the case. Always been the case. Always. We're just a different breed, mate. Different kettle of fish. So what you look at our communities, and a lot of us have got all to lose, mate. A lot of us haven't got mums and dads, and if they have, their life's off or on drink and drugs. 50% of the lads that are growing up on our estates have got all to lose. Nothing. About 1% of your community have got nothing to lose. The other 99% have got everything to lose. Family homes, mum and dad still living in that nice house, nice financed cars all over the path. You know, you just shut up. There's no competition when it hits the fan. Trust me, people. Don't be worrying. Don't be worrying of shit like that. Trust me. Oh, don't. Just ignore them. Let them scream the shite. You just focus on protecting your women and children. Everyone's a suspect, regardless. Treat everyone as a suspect. Your local shop, your local pizza place, suspects. Yes, Dawn, Mark, don't be worrying. As I say, let's awfulise the situation. If this keeps going, you're getting major civil unrest, right? So that's the worst it can get to with what loads of people think's going to happen here. You know, you've got the overconfident man of Islam suggesting that he's going to take over this country, and you've got loads of extreme dickheads in Islam in this country that believe that. That in the head, they've persuaded themselves that they've got a chance of taking the United Kingdom and making it into an Islamic country. This is how up in the heads they are. Do you understand? The point I'm making is when it comes to the crunch, us moderate men of Christ will absolutely demolish all them extreme, horrible bastards. Every one of them. And you've got to think about when I'm saying extreme. If you're not extreme, you've got nothing to worry about. If you're not one of them man that wants to rape my daughter, you're sweet. If you're not one of them man that wants to run into a nursery and chop children up, you're sweet. If you're not one of them man that wants to put yourself in a taxi and blow yourself up outside Alderey Hospital, you're sweet, you're not an extremist to me. But if you are one of them, I will completely take you, just like they done with Ken Bigley, my fellow Scouser, that was beheaded by an extreme Muslim. I don't forget this. You might forget about it. Half these are caught up in a mess, you don't even know what's gone on in the last 20 years. You're just in the heads. You don't know the depth this can go to. I've sat there and fumed for 20 years over Kenneth Bigley. So if you're not an extremist, don't take anything that's coming out of my mouth personal. If you've got that ideology that it's okay to abuse our kids, that it's okay to attack our hospitals and our women and children, that it's okay to run into our schools and attack our children, if you've got that ideology and I am able to get my hands on you, I will make a public show of you. I will do a Kenneth Bigley with you in this country and not give about the comeback of it. It's the way it is. That's where it goes to. That's where it goes to. All you sots in this country aren't ready for that. You're not born in Syria. You're not a war child. Stop going on like you are, you silly bastard. Anyway, let's move along. Men of Christ, protect your women and children at all costs. Don't give a shit if you're offending any. Protecting your women and children overrides any offence.